I couldn't get it to work either. So I was trying to get, I was trying to set the live stream up, and I was putting like, I'm trying to do it on my phone because it's just a lot easier. Otherwise, I need to run cameras and stuff like that. Where on my phone, I can just sort of like set it up and go from there. And searching for my own channel on Twitch, it wasn't coming up. Apparently, it didn't exist. So I'm just trying something new. You know, I'd love to do this stuff on YouTube, but YouTube just does not allow it. You can go live for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then they pull it down and basically say it goes against their community standards. I think what they don't want is people to do stupid shit with with guns, you know, on live streams. But hello, Snasher. Hopefully this works, but I hope you like the colour, Steve. I think it came out very well. You'll see like the markings and stuff came out pretty damn good. And this stuck me. This gun should not have been as complicated as it was. It's took me all day. I started this morning. I've literally just managed to get all the parts, cool down after being on bake, and yeah. Hope you like the colour. It's a bit of a switch up from your SSP5. But my idea was I could do like a live stream that people could follow along, and you know, I'm hoping that Twitch saves it, so then I'll just upload it to YouTube and it'll be like a normal video. So me talking to you, I know there's going to be a bit of a delay, but I need to remember the order of stuff. This all goes back together. Because I thought I could do it. I thought, oh, perhaps I could live stream it and we could, you know, be in Discord at the same time, but I'm not really sure how to do that. But I'm glad you like the colour. You're in the Discord, yeah, but I can't do the two things at the same time. But I think it looks really good in burnt bronze, to be honest. Just need to remember, oh, that's a bit too much on there. Remember how this all goes together. And get it to you, because I've had it for a bit now, haven't I? But yeah, this took way too long. This took me a full day. I wasn't expecting it to be such a big job, but you can see the amount of components and such has made it a bit of a ball ache. And both coating and the sandblasting on this receiver was just tricky, shall we say. Get Epoch Cam Pro. You can plug your phone into OBS. I haven't got a clue what that is. Hi, Rega. Regalog. Hope I say that right. Then the stream, the camera feed into Twitch. Yeah, but I still need a computer to do that, don't I? And I don't really fancy moving my computer into a different room. But I'm hoping that I can remember how this all went together. Did keep everything separate, which was nice. But we're just going to have to go in reverse and Loctite stuff back together. Sort of drunk last night when you sent me pictures of the lady. Well, it's probably a good thing, to be honest. I was trying to explain like why it looked a little bit off, but this took like, this took like 15 attempts to get right, and what I was basically doing was just white marking and figuring out the position until I got it roundabout right. I was taking references off the toxicant, and then while I was doing that, I realised the toxicant markings are actually incorrect. So I had to start from the beginning. But I've got bags and bags and bags of stuff here. I just need to remember which one's which. I need the stock components. I think it's that one. Yeah. You can do it wireless if your Wi-Fi is good. It is good, but I ain't got a clue how to set all that stuff up. Right, I'm going to start with the stock. I think the stock's going to be the easier of the two. And hopefully this goes to plan. Now, which way around did this go? Like that, okay. Should be fairly simple to put that together. Are we a 3 or a 4? Or a 4 mil? Might have to clean out some of these threads. Because they can get caught up with the dust and stuff from blasting. Or they could have a bit of coating caught up in them. And the moment you ship it out to me with my other parts, I'm instantly adding the Kung Fu grip. I'm going to put the Kung Fu grip on it for you, so you won't have to worry about that. I just thought it makes sense because it's only one bolt. And we can, it just saves you a job, I suppose, doesn't it? Yeah, I'd much prefer to do this on YouTube, because YouTube is a platform that I know and understand. But they just don't allow it. Right. I think I might have done this the wrong way around. I should do it the other way around, shouldn't I? It would have been easier. Let's flip that out. Can you not get the Salvos in Germany? I know Germany's a little bit more difficult because you have some more restrictive rules out there. But I wouldn't have thought it would have been so bad to get hold of. Right, first, this thread should be clear because I bolted this up before I coated it. What we're going to do is put a tiny bit of thread lock on it. Screw this together. This one's tight as well. God, it's not playing, it's not complying, this stock. It's pretty hard to get them. Plus it's very expensive, yeah, I can imagine that. I imagine you have to have them restricted in terms of what they can fire in terms of fire modes as well. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. Now we do have a distributor for these here in the UK. And I know they can sort F markings out, so I'm not sure if that's something they could set up with like a German retailer, or whether the German retailers are already getting them in and it's just expensive. So what you're going to see today is you're going to see the raw, unedited of me messing around with this stuff, like trying to get it to comply, rather than a usual YouTube upload where I can kind of edit that out. How about change internals between Toxic and Salvo? What do you mean by that? Change internals. Try and clean these threads out here. because this is going to be a bugger. There's so many threaded holes and parts of the geometry on the MCX that just makes it a little bit more difficult to coat. And the blast media and the Cerakote gets in everywhere. I did put a bolt in this when I coated it, which I hung the stock from while I was spraying it, thinking that would help, but it hasn't. So you have to just, you can obviously hear that. There are slight differences between the Toxicant and the Salvo. So I'm not sure it's going to be like a straight shot in terms of compatibility. I think, me personally, I'd just keep them to themselves. And I am trying to model up a steel bolt, so for those that are breaking the tabs on the bolt, I know there are other companies working on it, but I'd like to give my own offering and make it out of like a really nice, not only really nice materials, but make it so that like the QC is really good. Just trying to clean out these threads so I can get the stock put together. Which I know is not insanely exciting content, but it needs to be done so we can put this thing together. And what's happened, just a bit of the media's got stuck in the threads, which I'm just cleaning out. Right, I think that'll do. Clean this screw off, and then we can get this fitted. Just make sure we don't get any thread lock on the receiver. Right, we're going to want to go like that. Secure this in place because we don't want this coming loose on Steve now, do we? There we go. I hope you're well. Did you... hi, Agus. You have to forgive me if I get some of your names wrong because I'm not the best at pronouncing this stuff. Did you... anodise it? Is that what you're saying? Anodise. This is Cerakote. So this was done in burnt bronze for Stephen, who is in the chat as Controlled Chaos. We did his SSP5 not long ago. We did cobalt and burnt bronze. And for this one, we're basically doing the opposite. So the main colour is burnt bronze, and then obviously the accent colours are going to be the cobalt. Make sure we clean these threads out first. So it's going to be a 2.5. Glad you like it. We've also took that blank receiver and we've got the proper markings on there. And it will make it look special because obviously this is... I love burnt bronze, and the only reason why I don't have any guns in this colour at the moment is because when I first started doing Cerakote, I did the colour to death. Getting your rattler this week, cool. I do love the rattler. Yeah, so this colour, it's probably one of the most popular Cerakote colours. It's no matter how you apply it, it always comes up really like matted. So it's bright and vibrant in terms of it's a really nice metallic colour, but it's not like glossy and shiny, which is nice. And then cobalt is basically the same type of coating, but it's like a grey, so we're going to get a nice contrast. of the colours. So burnt bronze for the main colour, and then all the intermediary parts, controls, bolt, barrel, charging handle, forward assist, the bracket for the stock, all done in cobalt, and then I've left some colours in black that are just non-essential to change. Obviously we've got the rubber butt pad on the stock. It does, yeah, it does kind of look like anodised, doesn't it? You can actually, a tip that we used to do years ago, so if you know you've got something that's, you're 100% that it's been anodised, what you're going to do, like say if this, you knew 100% that this part had been anodised, you can actually heat the anodising up with a blowtorch. And when it gets to a certain temperature, it turns like an FDE colour. And we used to do that for Mark 18 rails back in the day, because it was an easy way to take something that was black and turn it into something that was FDE. And I'm going to be using my Cerakote sling to put these QD inserts in. So we're going to apply a little bit of Loctite, and this is like low strength stuff. We're basically going to use the QD sling point as a tool, because I don't have anything else that would be a better fit for that. And this only works if you've got the QD inserts that have, see the little notches? So as you put the QD sling in, it locks into place. So appreciate you all joining over from the YouTube. I know it's, if I'd have just gone live on Twitch, because no one really knows about this Twitch channel, I'd have just been chilling by my own, but I appreciate you all popping over. Again, this isn't going to be super riveting, edited down content where you're going to see me, like, you know, burning through a load of mags, like putting BBs in a box or something like that. It's literally me building this custom gun for Steve. I saw the SIG logo and I didn't think it's the Salvo one. Yeah, this is a Salvo one that's had them added after the fact. So we'll get that out of the way because we don't need that just yet. Got the other part of the bracket for the stock, which I think that's the bolt for it, if I remember. Yeah, there we go. Yes, I do laser graving and Cerakote. This part here was a bit of a bugger to get back in, which was this little plate. I actually had to just heat it up with a blowtorch, and it just fell out. So there was a bit of like an over, like where they'd added the Loctite, it spilled out over onto the plate, and that's what was holding it in place. So this part's actually plastic, it's not metal, so we didn't coat that because we don't know how this, I'd hate to coat this part and then it get warped or damaged with the heat. I just I don't really think it was worth coating it for the trouble. So we can smack that pin in. And yeah, I've checked Twitch's terms of service. There's nothing on there to say that this sort of content isn't allowed. If it does disappear all of a sudden, then you'll know why, because that's what happened on the YouTube. We can slide this component in here like that, and then I'm not gonna Loctite these screws in because last thing I want to do is round them off. We're going to need a 1.5, I think. Yeah, 1.5. If I miss your questions, just keep asking them. Yeah, well, I've looked into the terms of service, and there's nothing to say that it can't be done. There's things that say that it can't be used in a certain way. But if it goes, it goes. It's not like I'm risking the YouTube channel. Could you show us the process of engraving Cerakoting? I've showed that before on the channel. In the very early days where I started Cerakoting, I did a video that's on the channel called How to Cerakote at Home. And that's where me Cerakoting started, because I wanted to prove that you could do it at home, so I was showing you how to do it. And then instantly was flooded with requests to do it for people, and that's where it all started years ago. We're building a Steve Salvo MCX. However, I'll buy it soon from Octagon, hoping to have no trouble importing to Italy. So yeah, I think Octagon and a couple of the other Hong Kong shops offer this as a service before you buy, which if you have that and you have no intention of Cerakoting, that's probably the best way to do it, because you haven't got to worry about it when it gets this side. How is the BMW treating you? BMW's good. I actually did a video where I was out in Wales, and I recorded a load of footage of me out in Wales on it. It just wasn't quite up to the standard to upload it, and I ummed and ahed about it, and I was like, you know what, well, because the microphone kept dipping in and out, and I went on a rant for about 2 hours, and I was getting through the batteries and such, so I decided in the end, I'll learn from what I recorded, and try and make it better in future if I do any trips on the BM. But, yeah, the BM's lovely. Right, I need to locate the screws for that plate on the receiver. I'm guessing they're in this one. Do we just contact you for quote? Yeah, just I'll be honest with you, message me in the Discord, because if you message me through email, it's just going to get lost, because I get that many emails that I can't reply to them all. So just hit me up in the Discord and I'll get you squared away. You've just got to take into consideration that the amount of this stuff that I do, and with the website and how busy the website is, it's not going to be a fast process. Now, if you're happy with it not being a fast process and you're happy to wait while it's done, and I say this, I don't mean to come across as a bit harsh, but if you're planning on chasing me every day about it, it's probably not the best option, because you can just imagine how much I have to do. I just have to, like, I've had Stephen's Salvo for a bit. I just have to wait till I get a chance to do it. And Stephen was the test bench, because I had to do a lot of programming for the laser. And I was saying earlier, it took like 15 attempts to get it right. To the point where I don't have a real MCX. So I was just, going off like high-res images, trying to place it the best I can. I was taking references off my Toxicant, and I was like, right, we'll go with that, and then realised that the Toxicant ones aren't correct. So I was like, but I want it to be as correct as possible. So the Toxicant ones are close. There's just a couple of little details in their markings where you're like, that isn't on the real one, or it's slightly off, or the sizing's off, or where the serial number's not quite correct. They added I think Toxicant added a comma after ink on the address, which isn't on the real one as far as I can see. So, yeah. We'll start dressing this up. Now, I've got to put the dust cover in. And we need the spring and the bar. There's the bar. It's mainly the engraving I want, but I assume it will have to be painted, Cerakoted after the engraving. Not necessarily. So it always looks cleaner if you Cerakote it afterwards. That's the best way to do it. But what I'll say is, what am I trying to say here? With black, you can get away from it. It depends if you want to do like surface marking or deep engraving. Now, deep engraving, when you surface mark anything, it goes silver or white, depending on the material and the metal. And if you want it deep engraved and you're doing it on a black, if you want deep engravings on a black rifle, that works best, because what you can do is you can deep engrave down, it looks silver, and then you hit it with a really slow pass that's high powered, and it chars the metal, so it turns it really dark. So if you want deep engraving on a black rifle, it actually works. Now, it's not going to look the cleanest, because really you want to be Cerakoting afterwards to sort of like hide it all up like this. Like this would have all been silver. So you add the marking afterwards, and then you see, I think we probably could go a bit deeper, but I was just like very cautious, because with the way that these things are made in China and Hong Kong, you have to be careful with the material sometimes, because depending on the material, I've punched straight through things with the laser or gone far too deep, and it's just, you know. But yeah, must say this type of content is pretty relaxed, playing a game and watching my replica game. But well, there you go. Hopefully people enjoy it. And then I'm just thinking, if I'm messing about like this, people can ask questions while I do it. We can interact without doing it as a premiere, and it's like real-time interaction. And then hopefully Twitch will save the video, and then I'll just upload it to YouTube and people can follow along to that. So yeah, we're getting there. So we've got that on. We've got the other little bits on. What do we need next? What is kind of funky on the Salvos is they come with a really small barrel, but that will be for Stephen to swap out in future if he wants to. So the outer barrel itself, the outer barrel does actually have a little opening for an O-ring to secure the barrel, but there was no O-ring there, and it's not really needed because the barrel's like this long. So, and that's how they managed to get the power down on these things. So we need barrel bag. Is it in here? Not so much here. Barrel. I think it's this one. Is it these screws? I believe it's these ones. Oh, we're 1.5 or we're 2? We're a 2. Let's just go back here. Yeah, you can do it on the black. I think the inner is small for you guys. Mine arrived with it. Yeah, it's basically just to get the power down. So over here, they're coming in usually under like, they try and get it to like a 1 joule limit. I'm pretty sure these are the right screws. So yeah. Right, let's get this put together. Get this build progressing, because it's going to be a long video. And it gives us a chance to hang out as well, I suppose. You know, if you're followers of the YouTube channel, I don't know, you might be perusing through Twitch and somehow manage to come up against this crazy Englishman building weird shit, but yeah, for the followers of the channel, it gives you an opportunity to come in and chat. So let's get this slid in like that. Check everything's okay. You're gonna need, I did bag all this up, so like me putting this back together is a different process for the way I took it apart. Probably should have bagged it up a little bit differently. So we got that screw. We need that one as well. These brackets are really easy to deal with. I just wish they hadn't gone with Phillips screws, but it is what it is. Hopefully everything coming through on the live stream okay. Just if you guys can confirm, because like I say, when it comes to Twitch, I'm a complete noob. And there's been instances in the past with like my previous YouTube channel, which was Bespoke Airsoft, which I really wanted to keep when I left Bespoke, but they wouldn't let me keep it, and I haven't done anything with it since. I think it's dying a slow death, but it's yeah, I used to do live streams a lot, and mainly we used to do gaming over the night time and stuff. Right, we need the pins because we need to put this in. One thing I don't like about these salvos, which I can't remember how it is on the Toxicant, I'll have to check, but the gas tube's just sort of like free floating and short. I suppose you never really see it, but see that little gap there, that kind of annoys me, because it's like, it's just going to rattle about as well. Right, got that. We need the pins. What was that spring for? Can't quite remember. What was that spring for? Got little pins. We've got that pin. I'm trying to remember. I am trying to remember. Let's place these in. Be very careful here. We'll loosely tap them. Let's get them placed. And then give them a smack. We need to be careful we don't scratch these. Are you guys Twitch viewers, or are you just coming over from the YouTube? You'll have to let me know. Sorry about the loud hammer noise. Nothing I can do about that. I mean, going a little bit further. I just came over from YouTube to get my ears. Well, nothing I can do about that, Mr. Death. I swear you're just trolling me all the time anyway. I've got to get Steve's pins in. Look, it's over. The mic overall sounds pretty bad. Does it really? What sounds bad about it? I'm using a proper lav mic. Yeah, I wish I could pronounce that. I can turn the mic down a little bit. Let me try this. You have to tell me if that's any better. If you want it dropped a little bit more, I can do it on the receiver. And there's a bit of delay me talking to you and me seeing your replies, but is that better? I can turn it down another 6 decibels if that's no good, but just let me know. I've got to hammer it in. It's the only way to get it in there. Right, slide the handguard on now, this thing. Oh, look at that. Do another 6 down. Go another 6 down. The thing is, oh, this is going up actually. So it was down as far as I can go. So I was actually turning it up. I can move the microphone further away if that helps. Let me try this. If it's a bit too loud for you, you have to tell me if that's any better. I swear he's just trolling me, but right, what happened to those screws? You'd think me using like an expensive DJI mic. I'm too far away now. Are you freaking kidding me? If this is uploaded to YouTube, people are going to be like, "What the hell was going on?" I can pull the DJI mic out and try that if you really want. I am looking down into the microphone and speaking when I do it, so. Right, 2 screws for this handguard. With current volume, shout aloud A just to check. Or smack the table with the hammer. There you go. I'm going to be going around this the whole time if it's... We just have to deal with it and then I can fix it later. This is a first. This is a first for me. The voice sounds fine, okay. The voice sounds fine. I'll tell you what I'll do, just for you, Mr. Death. If I'm going to hammer something, I'll mute it. And then you won't have to listen to me banging stuff around. How about that? Is that a deal? Yes, this is good. This is the exact same setting I was on to begin with. Right. We're getting close to completing the upper here, so you can see it's very subtle. So we've got burnt bronze, and then we've got a cobalt plate there. We've got a cobalt barrel with black accents because it does make sense. This part's plastic, we can't coat that. This is obviously grey. We could have done this part, but I don't know. The metal seemed a bit flimsy, so I don't really want to mess about with it too much. Don't forget to unmute yourself again. Yeah, that's the point. That's okay. I got the stream on 50% now. I went in the stream at 100% right at the moment you were hammering, so I got the worst of it right away. Yeah, move to England. Come and airsoft with us. Right. That's pretty much done. We need to get the charging handle done. And we need to get the bolt made. I know where that spring's from now. I remember. It's for this. The charging handle. If I can remember how this went together. I believe it's like that. Right. I get my Salvo from my case while I'm comparing this colour. If I need to Cerakote mine. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to mute it because I need to hammer this pin in. I didn't forget to unmute it, did I? Although that is something that I've done in the past. Right, let's catch up with what you guys are saying. So, just got the new AirTac grip for my Sega. This means I can route my airline through the HPA adapter through the grip. Looks a lot sleeker. Yeah, I've been looking at that. The only thing that puts me off, because I've added that Sega grip into my cart a few times, is it's 100% a rip-off of the Difrico Kung Fu grip. And because I'm a dealer for Difrico, I don't know how that would look, me buying it in. Maybe I just don't show it off on the channel, but it is a good idea. I do like it. Right. Charging handle. We're going to grease this up in a bit, so don't worry about it too much. I do need to add the pins in the top of the receiver. So I'm going to save Mr. Def's ears one more time and just quickly tap these pins in. Just going to place them first, And these pins basically give the charging handle something to latch onto. So I'm just going to go mute, tap these in, save your ears, and then I'll be back. There we go. Are you in the Discord, Mr. Death, or are you just chilling on your own? And those little pins, what they give us is a latching point for the charging handle. What, sorry? I asked if you was in the Discord or are you chilling by yourself? Are you in the Discord chilling with Stephen and the boys, or what? What's happening, Governor? Right. We've got some bolt parts to do. Here is where we need to be a little bit more proactive with the lube. Chilling with the other Dutch guy and a quiet Thor. Which other Dutch guy? Is it who I'm thinking of? So what I'm actually doing, I'm going to lube this up, and I'm also going to put just a layer of lube on the start of the inside of the bolt as well, so it spreads it down. The one pen makes this a very easy job. And then we can slide the nozzle in. Stephen, if you're listening, what you'll have to do is, after you've shot this a bit, you're going to have to pull it apart and clean it to just clean out any dirt or grime from the Cerakote process. And then just re-lube it and put it back together. Oh, come on. Pull that out like so. Drop this little piece in behind it. We're going to slightly pull this forward. Put the plastic top piece on. Yeah, you see this, it's just a bit dry. So I've lubed it up, Stephen, but you're just going to have to... normally what I would do is I'd just run a couple of mags through it and clean it, but I don't want to... Obviously things will get marked up with use, even with Cerakote. What I might actually do is use a bit of the oil just to seep in and loosen that up. That should help seep into the bolt. Much better. Right, once you've done that, we need to put the spring in top. So we'll push that in with a little flat head, and then what we're going to do before we complete the bolt assembly, you don't want to whack a load of grease in your receiver. The way I do it is I just put a coating on the side of your sides of your charging handle, right here, and then put a coating on the top. Just spread it round. You don't have to go really over the top with this. And then just move it up and down in there. With the bolt, now you have to be very careful with these. A lot of people go absolutely to town with the bolts. And the problem with that is they coat all this and everything, dust, dirt, grime, anything like that is just going to stick to it because it's exposed when you're using it. You only want to lube up the contact points. So that will be this area here, because that's where it rolls over your hammer. This piece at the back that sticks out, make sure that's nice and lubed. So the bottom here, I'm going to put a bit in this channel here, like that, because that's where one of the sears rides. And then with the salvos, you can, if you want to, just apply a little bit to the one side, but only the back side. And then the other most important place is to just put a bit on this plastic piece as well. With the TM normal, like M4 style bolts, you've got raised sections on the bolt where you apply it to. You don't apply it to the whole thing. That's in. We need to put this on the top. I'm not going to Loctite these screws in, Stephen, because once you've ran it in a little bit, like I say, just strip the bolt out, clean everything out, re-lube it, and then if you want to use like a low strength Loctite, the only reason I'm not going to Loctite these screws in is because he does need to do a bit of a run-in maintenance with the bolt, and that's just because we've Cerakoted it. Don't need to go crazy on these anyway. It should be fine for your tests and then running it in. And then of course re-greasing. So I need to be careful here because I don't want to get grease all over his receiver. I need to update my kit. What is that? So both those words are starred out. So you want about this? One of these? Is that what you're asking about? Look, it's even got my branding on and everything. This is the Jaeger 1 pen. You get this in 2 variants. It's on the website. It's in stock. It comes in 2 variants, grease and oil. And it's one of the... Not only does it come with a great applicator, but the actual stuff inside is very good as well. It's got no silicone in it. So highly recommended. You can get it on the store. Put the bolt in now and we'll be able to see that contrast with the cobalt and the burnt bronze. Very nice indeed. Right, that's the upper built. I think even though I've been chatting and it took quite long, I got through it a little bit quicker than I thought we would. Right. With the receiver, yeah, the problem with painting brushes, you have to have your grease pot open, and you have your paintbrush, and then you can't close your grease pot because your paintbrush is sticking out, and then because you don't close your grease pot because your paintbrush is sticking out, it just attracts all the dirt and stuff off your bench. A needle tip, potentially, but again, it's the quantity that I have to order these pens and the tips in is just so vast that I've never thought about it. But yeah, it's something that we could look at in the future. Right, this is where things get a little bit tricky. So we need to put this plate in the back. Need to center it like that. We've got, that's for the grip. It's going to be this one, I believe. Which is going to be a 3mm. We screw that plate in like that. And then on the flip side, what we do, take the buffer. You can get the soft buffers on the website as well. All the haters came out and said it was a crap product, and we've sold out on 2 batches of those now. And it's just by people that don't understand or don't know what they're talking about, saying you can make the exact same thing on a 3D printer with TPU filament. Honestly, you can't. Yes, you can make a soft buffer with a an FDM printer using TPU. It's not going to hold up to the forces that the bolt has on it. Yes, it depends on infill, But the way that the Jaeger buffers are made are not with an FDM printer. It's laser sintered, so it's literally fused together. We've got some more QD points here, which we need to put in. So we're going to do the same trick as before. We're going to use the QD off a sling. I'm going to put some Loctite on here. And then we're using the sling as a tool. Just line up the threads. Oh, there we go. That clicking is the balls clicking in, the balls clicking inside, which is good because it means we don't apply excessive amounts of torque. A bit more Loctite on this side. Guys, thank you for following the Twitch channel. You'll have to let me know if there's something you want me to do on the regular. Maybe we could do it once a week. If you want me to do that, then I will. There we go. Now, I want to put the grip on, but we can't do that yet because we need to put the body pin in. And we do have some components on this receiver, which, if you watched the last video on this, we took out all the fake body pins. So I'm going to be putting those in my own time because I really need to focus on what I'm doing with that. And it's not something I want to be doing while I'm doing like a live stream like this because it's going to make it tricky. Those are the pins. What's that washer for? Can't quite remember. That's for the grip, that's for the trigger box. I think those parts are for the mag release. Right, rear pin. Here we go. So we need the rear pin in first. We need the stopper or the detent. And get it in the bloody hole. Like that. Followed by the spring. Followed by this very tiny grub screw. Hopefully this will reach. There we go. Body pin in. Make sure it's centered, which it is. And that leads us on to a good part where we can put this little nut in the slot, take Kung Fu grip, and we're going to place this on there with, I think it's a 4mm. It is. 4mm Allen key. Slide this on the bottom here. In fact, what I'm going to do, slide it into place first. Like that, and then go in with the bolt. No trace of silicone at all. There we go. Starting to come together, isn't it? Okay, we need the mag release. Which way did this go? That goes that way, so we need it on that way with the little pin. go in the bottom here. Right, I'm going to mute my mic because otherwise Mr. Death's going to have an aneurysm. There we go. So that's in. We need to do the front body pin before I forget. Place the detent in. This is where things get tricky. This is where people launch these detents across the room sometimes. Push down, push in. You're going to hear a click, and that's all you need to do. Right. Let's put the stock on. If I can fold this into... Ow, there we go. Snatch my finger. Place this on the rear rail. Make sure it's in position, which it is. And tighten it up. Starting to come together, isn't it? Right. Got that part. We need to put the mag release in afterwards. That's for the mag release. That's for the trigger box. Got a little grub screw there. That's for the selector. I just don't know where that little washer's come from. Where's that come from? Not a clue. Mr. Death, more like Mr. Death. Oh dear, I'm not getting involved. Let's take the trigger pack out. Very carefully. We don't want things to go pinging across the room. Spring sear. What we need to do is put this spring in place on here and hope we can place this without it falling out, because they love to do that. In and over. Good. Z plate in. Good. And the FA sear. Try and clean my hands off. Hold this all together. And it pop in nicely like that. Get a 2.5. Screw that rear screw in first so we don't forget. It's not a Jaeger Precision Z plate, no. I did try one in the Salvo, and I think the geometry was just a little bit off. Mag release. This is the part I hate doing on these MCXs, because it never wants to go well. Need to push that in a little bit harder. Don't really think that's rubber, that'll work. Don't want to damage it. Yeah, there we go. Round and round the rosemary bush. Go one more. One more. And we're flush. But they actually went pretty damn smooth. So that's in. We need the body pin from this side. Let's pause it, the audio. we go. Selector. Let's try and get this first time. I don't think I've forgot anything, so we should be onto a winner so far. Oh, beautiful. Set that to semi, take the other side, put that on. I believe this is a 1.3 because it has to be awkward. 1.3. Small grip screw goes in that side. Very tight spot to get into there. Right, I think we're almost there. What have we got left to do? Don't think anything. It's just the fake body pins on the receiver. There we go. One pimped out Salvo MCX in burnt bronze and cobalt. Hope you like it. Stock to the side, like so. Makes it nice and easy to get in frame. I need to figure out where that washer's come from. It came out the trigger box bag, but there's nothing for the trigger box to go back on there. All the parts I've took off have gone back on. So everything's pretty good to go. Maybe I can just watch back over the footage just to make sure. It looks like a lock washer to me. But I need to put the body pins back on anyway. Do a couple of function checks. Do we have gas in this? All functions as it should. Sounds really good. Everything went smoothly, if not a little bit slower than usual. But you know, when you're doing Cerakote, you have to take your time, because I've tried to rush these before, and if you're not paying attention, you try to do a million things at once, the last thing you want to do is slip with a tool and scratch a lovely Cerakote job that I've literally spent all day on today. Just getting it all nice and squared away. Hope you like it, Stephen. Oh, looks better than expected. It's more bronze than cobalt. There's only a couple of cobalt accents on there, which I think was probably the better way to do it. I think the full thing in cobalt might have looked a little bit weird. But I have ordered a load of stencils from the US, and I think I'm going to be doing something in tiger stripe, I think, because the stencils are not cheap at all to have them in that sort of high temp vinyl. I have spent a lot of time trying to find where that high temp vinyl comes from. You can buy a plotting machine to make your own stencils from Cerakote, but the plotting machine is like $1.5 to $2 grand just for like this small machine. And then the rolls of the vinyl are really expensive as well. So I tried to look to see if I could source where this vinyl was coming from. And after spending a few days trying to source it, I just gave up. But I've ordered the high temp stencils, pre-cut, topographic tiger stripe, and I'm sure I ordered another one as well. I can't quite remember. And yeah, we'll be doing some custom builds. I'm not sure what to do it on yet. So the first option to do a custom colour on was the Ghetto Blaster. Maybe we do that in like a topographic pattern, or we do it in tiger stripe, I don't know, make it look really fancy and cool, but in some nice subtle colours. Other things we could do the Strike. We could do the Strike Industries CGS, because it really doesn't matter to me, you know, what colour this is, or we just leave it black because, you know, it is what it is. Don't spend any time, money on it, because it makes it an expensive gun then. Just look through some of your comments here, bear with me. Does the spring not sound super loud? Yeah, so it's just the nozzle spring needs greasing, which I can do afterwards. In a lot of the gas blowback MWSs, you can find that spring twang. It's in the Salvos, it's in the Double Eagle Ghetto Blaster, it's in the Guns Modify Scar L, which I got. That does the same thing, and all you have to do is just pull the nozzle apart. So pull everything out, get your main spring on your nozzle, and just literally coat it with grease. Siggy's now using a NIR Cerakote colour. Okay. There was a washer on the stock plate screw. There was a washer on the stock plate screw. It looks pretty much like the one you have there. Catalo, are you on about this screw? This one here? This screw here, is that what you're on about? It was just in the wrong bag. So it wasn't in the bag for those parts. The side plate, what I ended up doing was I took it outside, or into my outside workshop, and basically just removed the screws and just, you know, just hit it with heat. Just heated it up with a blowtorch to get him Cerakoted anyway. Got it nice and hot, and then as I turned the receiver over after heating it up, it just fell out. So it's just a bit of like squeezed out Loctite off the screws. Like the Picatinny plate of the receiver where the stock is mounted. Ah, I see what you mean. So I think you're talking about this screw in the back here. Is this the one you're on about? It could be from here, yeah. It's the right size. If that is correct, you're an eagle-eyed viewer. It was in a different bag of parts, so maybe you are correct. I just don't remember. I don't remember it from when I took the rifle apart. I'll have to go back and watch the other video just to be sure. It's only a lock washer. If that's the part you're on about, then happy days, it's back in there. What do you think of the colour, guys? I know the burnt bronze is kind of like overshadowing the cobalt a bit, but the cobalt's just accent colours, and I like how it keeps that sort of matte metallic look, but a different shade, and it's just enough to draw you into it to realise, oh, that's actually a nice colour, but not overpowering where it just takes over the burnt bronze. New bamboo 3D printer could cut stencils. Yeah, but to be honest with you, if I wanted a stencil cutter, I'd buy a dedicated machine. I wouldn't have the bamboo do it, because it's not going to do it as good as a machine that's literally made to do that whole process. Black Blue Tiger Stripe is going to go. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Have you seen the camo patterns from GT? The XM5 looks good. Camo patterns from GT. Tiger Stripe Deagle. Don't have a Deagle anymore, Thor. Just kind of got here. How do you get the little side plate off? Answer that. Take that off. There's a plate that goes inside the... Okay, perfect. Thanks for telling me, Catalo. Hope I'm saying that correctly. The bags that Jaeger made are never wrong. What? I just looked it up on your video. Oh, thanks for that. He's awesome. I want this colour in mine. Grantham. I see what you mean. Washer is on minute 21:40 of the Salvo video. Appreciate that, but if you've seen it already, then happy days. I must have just put it in the wrong bag. Would you ever get a deep GBLS DAS, or is it not worth getting in 2025 anymore? The GBLS DAS is so freaking expensive. I just think you're going to pay 3 times more for a DAS than you are to get an MWS, just to kind of get the same thing. I mean, yeah, you've got a little bit more in terms of your mag capacity, but it's vastly expensive, and they sound like they're quacking ducks. I remember being at a Milsim event a couple of years ago, and we were behind this compound, like this set of stables, and it's pitch black. None of us can see. I didn't have night vision at the time, but a few of my buddies that I was with did. And we're just waiting behind these set of stables, and behind these stables is a big open ground. And this guy was very sneaky, and he snuck up on us, and he slotted every one of us because he had some really fancy night vision. But he had a DAS, and every time he fired it, it's like a whack noise. It's really weird. And we just could not stop laughing. And bear in mind, we're at this Milsim event. This guy's getting really pissed off with us because we're not taking it seriously. Yeah, he did, you know, he got the drop on us, you know, really well played with your expensive night vision. All I could see was literally black, but we just could not stop laughing, and he got really, really upset with us. But yeah, I wouldn't touch a DAS. I'd just get another MWS. I am going to look at the Maruyama MP9. Yeah, it does look interesting. I do. You say I'm done with VFC replicas, but I love my MPX. It's brilliant. Don't get me started on those gooseneck of a motor GBLS DAS. There you go. Your opinion on the KJW KCO2 GB? You kind of fancy it. They're very good platforms, and I think I've touched on this before. The KCO2 is a very good platform. It's well looked after aftermarket wise by companies like Rogueworks. The problem is, if you want that gas blowback experience of just, you know, especially with guns with strong blowback, you can't get that from a KCO2. Yes, it's gas blowback, but it's just the same as the VMP2, where it's very anemic in its blowback to the point where it's like, what is even the point? You know, you can only get so much mass in the bolt. As a platform, it's good. If you're looking for something that's more realistic, no. And the KCO2 mags, unless you run it on HPA or whatever, the KCO2 mags suck. I had a KCO2, or like the Special Teams carbine, if you want to call it, that came through ASG when they first came out with the little banana mags. And I would say 8 out of 10 of my original banana mags for that KCO2 exploded. So I remember them going off in the middle of the night, just one after another. They were renowned for it. I don't know what the mags are like now, but yeah, back then they were crap. Why don't you like VFC GV stuff? It's not that I don't like it. It's just every experience that I personally have had with VFC has been a bad experience, apart from the MPX and what else is it? There was something else that I used that I liked but ended up getting rid of. I've got a G3 as well, which I haven't really done anything with. I was thinking about selling it. But, you know, if there's someone in the UK that has a version 3 VFC and they want to loan it to me to do some videos on, if you're so adamant that VFC is good, if someone could send me one and I'll run it and see how good it is. Would you do a Daytona build as an alternative to GPR? Probably not. No, it's a bit too expensive. Not for me, I don't think. I personally have the VFC AK-74M, so those are meant to be good. I haven't seen one yet. I don't really have those hiccups on auto. I was able to run about 450 shots on one load of gas. I didn't believe the video of Explosive Enterprises and did it myself. Would you give the VFC AK a try? I would, but it would take a lot for me to move on to that from my Marui AKMs. I thought about the KCO as a backup from MWS. Honestly, if you're thinking about a backup from MWS, my personal opinion would be to get another MWS. Same mags, you haven't got to splurge out for mags. you know the platform. It's a very reliable platform. I mean, I didn't stop at 2. I think I've got like 13 now, but that's how much I love the platform. So, the brands that make the APC 9K, which do you recommend? I think my first UV prime will be my go-to. So I've got the Archwick, which I am going to get rid of because I don't use it. But the Mariam ones are meant to be pretty good, but I haven't used the one that's got the more B&T style mags. I only tested the one that had the Glock mags. So, did you get hands on with the VFC AK-47? No, not yet. Get the APC9 Pro. You saw me on the Ghetto Blaster, and I'm glad it's my first GBR. One of my favourite airsoft purchases to date. Appreciate that. I would send you my VFC AK if you want to run it. Bad part is I live in Romania and I don't know what problems could happen. Yeah, it's not going to go well there. Imagine it getting stuck at customs either on the way here or on the way back. It would be something that wouldn't be the best thing. Well, I think this has been a good test. I appreciate you guys all jumping in and having a chat. Maybe we'll do... I should really do a schedule and say, right, I'm going to live stream 1 day a week or 2 days a week. And then we can just, whatever's on the bench at the time, you guys can get took along for the ride. I'm not too sure. I don't know whether it's worth doing it this way or just me recording it myself and uploading it. Some of the videos that I've uploaded recently have done really well. I'm actually quite surprised how well the mini Uzi video did compared to the others. What was interesting, I was looking at another airsoft YouTuber the other day. Someone I watch, I'm not going to mention their name. Someone that's got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And I was looking at their uploads. And some of them do post, maybe not as frequently as I do. But I was looking at the uploads and they were getting less than 1,000 views a video. Where mine do, on average, I want to say like between 2,000 and 4,000 views a video. I'll have some anomalies. I don't understand. I mean, maybe that's better and I don't need to look at the YouTube channel from a subscriber count, more from like an average viewer count. But it just, the analytics seem to say that more people were tuning to my stuff. Maybe I'm just not capturing them and they're not subscribing, so you don't see the metric. But I have a friend that has a VFC AK in the UK, but I'll have to talk with him for this. I mean, it's not a rush. You know, I'll probably look at it in future. I was very impressed with the Well Pro, which is the AK-12. And I have managed to get a bunch of mags for this as well. I don't know why the camera's so zoomed in, but the AK-12 from Well Pro, for the money, is a really good platform. And I've got a bunch of mags, so I'm going to be doing a Jaeger test on that. My AKX, wherever it is a really good little build. I do love my TMAKs. They're really built for full auto, but it's just, for the size of it, it's very heavy. I have ordered a load of new parts for my AKM, so I'm going to be switching that up and maybe going down a different path. So I've gone with a KPYK stock, and I want to try and get a KPYK front end for it as well. So, yeah. Happy to tune in to more airsoft live streams or bench streams in your case. Yeah, appreciate that. If it's what people want to tune into, then I don't mind doing it. Dead accounts and kids that subscribe to stuff and don't watch it. Most popular airsoft YouTubers focus on younger population. Yeah, that makes sense. I think you are the only one that disassembles all stuff. In my opinion, the best guide out there. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'll just try to, like, when I get something in, like I say, I get a Salvo in, I just try to maximize the content in a short span. So I'll put it in, I'll show you guys what it is. The Jaeger test I started doing and then I stopped, and then I'm going to start doing them again now. You've also got strip down videos, and of course videos like this where we take it to the next level and just make it really nice. I think this coating on this gun, this Cerakote, just makes this Salvo look more expensive. Like if you put this next to my Toxicant right now, I'd probably go as far to say that this looks better quality than the Toxicant just because of the coating. And the Toxicant is just, it's very, I mean, it has had a bit more use, but it's very glossy. And Yeah, I think we can probably go a little bit deeper with the trades, but it's also difficult to sort of compare the colours because black will obviously make it stand out a little bit more. So I'm just trying to catch up here with you guys. Quite videos attains the viewers. I'm hoping so. We have been doing well. We're growing at a steady rate. I just want to try and... I'm more curious than anything to see if we can grow it at a faster rate and what could possibly be done to do that. Now, I do have a guy that's editing some gameplay footage for me, which isn't going to be the best gameplay footage, but it'll be a good test to see if people tune in to watch it. Really looking forward to the AK-12. Probably why you have a higher average. We'll be looking into the World Pro KS1, KS3. I've heard mixed things about them, like they're not entirely compatible with VFC. To be honest with you, probably not. If they'd done it MWS based, I'd have been all over it. A Gundam themed MWS build. That is actually a really good idea. Do it in Gundam colours and maybe some custom etching. You've piqued my interest with that one. I think I'm interested in doing that, but what would I do it to? Who knows? Really liked how it turned out. Nozzle from the Well Pro. AK fits in the Marie AK. Okay. Is live stream quality limited to 720p or is it just me? Honestly, I don't know. It doesn't give me the option on my phone. So it might just be because it's on a phone. It just, you know, this phone will record up to 8K. Usually I have it set to 4K 30 frames. To me on the phone, it looks very good, but it could just be a case of, I don't know, the internet, the connection with Twitch. I'm not too sure. Check the stock FDE colour. Stock FDE colour and see the difference. I mean, there was a Gundam Zaku AG long ago. Maybe they still exist. Not sure. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, I've got these stencils. I'm going to do a tiger stripe, but I don't know what tiger stripe pattern I'm going to do or what gun I'm going to do it on. But I know roughly the colour that I'm going to do with the topographic. So I was thinking about doing either a dark colour like grey or black, but then the topographic pattern's going to be like bronze or maybe like a titanium colour, but it's going to be very subtle. So you look at the gun and it'll look black or grey, but then as you look closer, there's going to be like a topographic pattern in the main parts of the rifle. So hopefully we'll get to see how that turns out. You're not the first person to ask me about Miami Tiger camo. Snasher wants that stuff so bad. To be honest, I could just do one in that Miami Tiger stripe just to annoy him, but I know he wants it. The problem is, and you know, guys, I've been doing Cerakote for a long time now, and there's a lot more people doing Cerakote now than there was when I started doing it. Stenciled Cerakote work takes a lot of time, and normal Cerakote work takes a lot of time if you do it correctly. There are people out there that have come and gone that rush Cerakote work through. They don't coat it properly. I have had so many airsoft replicas come into me that have been Cerakoted by someone else, and it's been done so badly, so I have to replicate and do it properly. It takes me a long time because I do it properly. Everything gets stripped down to the bare substrate and we start afresh. Cerakote's always going to be only as hard as the material that you're coating anyway. So we'll see. What do you think of the Stark Arms P320 VFC? I don't think I've seen it yet. The only VFC SIG that I've got now is the P365, which is okay. It's a small frame pistol, very, very small frame pistol. So you are restricted by the pistol size and size of the blowback and everything like that. So like when VFC or Umarex did their G43, the small Glock, yeah, they worked. I mean, the one I had, I'd put like a salient slide on it and everything. I spent a fortune on it, but in terms of performance and comparing it to an average size like normal size sidearm, it just the performance wasn't there, so it didn't really make sense carrying it. I've had to take down all my Marui Glock videos from YouTube because I got chased by none other than Glock themselves. I have, tarted up my FN509 from Double Eagle. So There's going to be a couple of videos coming up on this, which is to do with these accessories, aim win, light and laser module, and an aim win red dot. And I've decided to put them both on the 509 because it just looks good. Really do like this piston. I've sorted out that gas efficiency issue, but we will see. I'm not sure what pistols I'm going to take to this event coming up in May. I remember that you used to have a GHK Glock. What happened to it? I sold it because it never got any use. Sold it for far cheaper than what I spent on it, let's put it that way. With a bunch of mags. The thing is, you can get the GHK Glocks much cheaper now because not only do you get, they've done like that Gen 5, they also do it with an aluminium slide now, which probably works better. It's not going to be as realistic, but it probably functions better and it's cheaper. So you can't have a flashlight in Germany. So you're not the first person to tell me that, unless you were the one that was talking about it in the Discord. It's crazy to me. That's like saying it's illegal for you to see what you're shooting at in the dark. Like you're not able to get like target acquisition with a flashlight. That makes no sense. The trigger on the GHK, yeah, it is stiff. Stiffer than what you're used to. It's a catastrophe in Germany. Well, it's a catastrophe everywhere at the minute. Right, guys. It's 10:30. We've built it. I only plan to come on and build this. So we've done that. I can get this all packaged up, sent over to Stephen now, and hopefully he enjoys it. The only part that didn't go back on was the original grip, which we put the Dai-Frico Kung Fu grip. I'm getting my words mixed up now. I really enjoyed the live stream. Thank you for the quality and how familiar you make the chat feel. Good night, guys. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like I say, this will go up on YouTube as well, just for those that don't want to join the live stream can watch it. And I appreciate you all for jumping in for the first one, and I hope you've had a good weekend. We've got a bank holiday here in the UK at the moment, so I'll get an extra day off before I go back to work. So thanks very much. Appreciate every single one of you, especially if you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And okay, I'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for watching the live stream. Hope you enjoyed this build. I know Stephen is going to like it, and we'll probably be seeing you in another live stream in future. We'll have to pick a day. I'm not sure when people are most likely to watch. Maybe I'll have to look at other streamers to sort of try and figure out that metric. But thank you very much for tuning in. From me and Bench, we'll be seeing you in the next one.